make this video a little later, but I decided to do it now because I just got some new volumes from Barnes & Nobles, and I kind of just want to show off what I have right now. I'll make another one in the future so everyone knows what I have then. But I'm going to be doing my manga collection video today, and yeah, I just want to start off by saying I was going to make this a little later, but I decided to just do it now. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's just get straight into the video. And to get us started, we're going to start with Naoki Urasawa's 20th Century Boys. I have volumes 1 to 16, I'm missing 17, 19, and I'm missing 21st Century Boys. Other than that, I have the full series, and I love these spines. That's one of the things why I got the singles instead of the omnibuses. I really love the spines. Also, like I say, I have small hands. I can't really hold omnibuses, but show you guys some art. Naoki Urasawa's art is amazing. I really love his art, and his storytelling is just impeccable. So yeah, here's some art from the story. I am currently reading this, so I can't really say much about it, but yeah, I'm really liking what I've read so far. Next of all, we have Anima. I think I'm only missing volume 7. Yeah, I'm getting volume 7. It's in the mail right now, but it hasn't came in yet. Most of these are from eBay and Mercari, but I got 3 so far off Right Stuff, and their quality is just so much better, I'll be very honest. And yeah, I like the art. The art for this is really good. I'm also yet to read this. Sorry about that, I switch hands. So I can show you guys since it's pretty hard. Oh, focus. The art for this is really good. I really like the art for this series. It's a nice fantasy story. If you can get it, I would suggest it. It definitely is kind of hard to find because it's out of print, but I would definitely suggest getting it if you can. Next up on our list, I got the Silent Voice box set. If you guys have watched the movie, that's what convinced me to get this. Let me just try to get a volume out. It's kind of hard with one hand, sorry about that. Here we are. So, I really loved the movie, and that's what convinced me to get this. I have 2 switching hands, I might as well just hold it in one hand. But the art is really good, and I very much suggest getting this if you have the money or if you're able to, because God, I love a Silent Voice. Next up, I have 1 through 7 and 9 through 21 of Assassination Classroom. The story is, I'm not going to open that one because that one's the ending, and I'm yet to read the last 2 volumes. Only watch the anime for that. The art is really good. I love Koro Sensei. Koro Sensei is one of my favorite characters in manga. So I can't say anything more than I very much suggest Assassination Classroom. Pure love, Koro Sensei. Next up, I have 1 through 26 and 27 through 40 and the guidebook of Berserk. Berserk is my favorite manga of all time. Probably just tied with One Piece right now. And God, that could have been bad. Berserk has some of the best art. I have to make sure that I show good panels that won't get this video demonetized. Since if you've read Berserk, you guys know how dark Berserk can get. But the art just gets better throughout the whole series, and I highly suggest if you can get the Berserk deluxe editions. I don't like the deluxe editions, but I would suggest getting them because they do save you money. I don't know how much money they save you, but they do save you money, so I just suggest getting them. But I might get them at one point, but I already have all 40 volumes of Berserk, so I don't see a point right now, but don't mind my Legos. Next up, we have the Loot Crate exclusive Volume 1 of Black Clover. I have not yet gotten the rest. I've read it online, Black Clover, but Black Clover is one of my favorite mangas of all time as well. It's such a good story, and I don't see how people hate on it. The art is fantastic. I can see why they hate on the anime, but I just love Black Clover so much that I don't see why people should hate on it so much. But that's just my opinion. Everyone has preferences. Black Clover Volume 1, Loot Crate exclusive. Next, I'm so excited to talk about this one. I have 1 through 5 of Black Torch. Black Torch is amazing. I feel like the ending was kind of rushed. I can see why it was. But the art is very good. Like, the art is insanely good. Main character is very nice to see. I love the character development of the characters in the series. Love the art, love the story. I highly suggest it since it's only 5 volumes, and I don't think it'll ever get an anime. But that's what I think. But I very highly suggest getting it. Next, I have volumes 1 through 21, and 22 and 23. 24 Blue Extras comes out in August, so I'm just waiting for that. But yeah, I really like Blue Extras as well. Sadly, my first 2 volumes are kind of banged up, but the art is good. I wouldn't say it's fantastic. The fights are really good. I love the characters, and I just love how the story has progressed. I think if the anime continued, it would probably be one of my favorite arcs in anime. But that is just what I think, because they stopped at probably my favorite arc in the manga so far. Next up is volumes 1 and 2 of Blue Flag. I talked about this in 2 of my videos already. This is my 3rd video in a row that I'm talking about it. It was in my favorite manga covers of all time and my monthly manga haul for June. So far, I really like the characters and I really like the story of it. And the art is very good for a romance series, so I do suggest it. But I can see why people don't like it, or people just don't like romance. Next is 1 through 14 of Demon Slayer. Volume 14 literally came out yesterday for when I'm recording this. I got today when I went to Barnes & Nobles. And yeah, I think Demon Slayer is good. Definitely overhyped in my opinion. But I can see why people like the anime so much. The art style, the manga isn't as good, as the anime in the manga. But it's a very good story, so I've read it all online, but I've decided I want to collect it as well. So I have all 14 volumes so far in English. I definitely would suggest it, but it's definitely, it's not the best. I do love it though, I do like it. Next is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro-san. That's by Nanashi. Funny thing enough, before he wrote this, he was a hardcore lolly hentai artist, which is very funny to think, because this is a very wholesome series. I got it today and I've read both the volumes. The art is very good. You can definitely see why he's a lolly hentai artist though, but it's definitely a very good, very funny series, and I definitely suggest this if you get the chance to get it. It's only 2 volumes right now. I think the next volume comes out in a couple months. That's very hard to do. I'm just not going to try to attempt that. But yeah. Next up, we have 1 to 18 of Fire Force. And I love Fire Force. I like it when Demon Slayer, that's my opinion though. But I love the art of Fire Force. Fire Force has amazing characters as well. I hope that Okubo makes a better ending for Fire Force than he did Soul Eater. Because I like Fire Force more than Soul Eater. I will also say that pretty confidently. That's my opinion, and I really like the story so far, and I really do suggest this very much. It's definitely my top 10. Next is Gal Gohan. I actually messed up and bought 2 volume 2s of this on accident. I'm going to be reselling one of them. I've not yet read it, so I'm not going to show too much of the art so I don't spoil it for myself. But yeah, I can't really say much about it because I haven't read it. Next up, I would have put one of these on my favorite covers of all time, but I have volumes 1 and 2, which is, I think, up to date with English so far. I don't know if 3 came out yet, or 2 is the most recent one. But Hell's Paradise. The art is really good. Like, you can just tell off the back. The art is really good. It's a samurai manga, and I really like it. And the characters are really good. I really enjoy the series. If you get a chance, I very much suggest getting Hell's Paradise. Also very hard to get in. I'm just not going to attempt putting these back in. Next up is How to Train Your Devils Volumes 1 and 2. I just got Volume 2 today as well, but definitely a funny series. I said this in my monthly manga haul, you have to be a little bit on the adult side for some of the jokes, since one of the main characters is a very big pervert. The art's pretty good. I really enjoy the series, so I would suggest it a little bit. Then we have Im, the Great Priestess Imhotep. I'm yet to read Volume 2, but I don't know how I feel about the series. I like it for the art. The story's kind of meh, but I can see what people like about it. Characters are pretty good. I mean, I like ancient Egyptian culture, and I like learning about the gods of ancient Egyptian times. So it's pretty cool. But yeah. Next up, oh god, I might get roasted for this, but my favorite anime of all time, because it's my first anime I've actually watched that wasn't like Dragon Ball, Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Danmachi, or Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. I have volumes 1 through 10 of that in the manga, and I love the art. The quality of these volumes are really good, and of course I love the story. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. So yeah, I have volumes 1 through 10 of that. And I have both the spin-offs. I'm yet to get the 4-panel manga of Danmachi, but I'm gonna get it at one point. But I also have volumes 1 through 6 of the Familia Chronicle episode of Ryu manga. I think the art is done by the same person because it looks around the same. But I really like how they did this to make backstory and give backstory to side characters. So I very much suggest if you get Danmachi, excuse me again. Yeah, you get episode Ryu as well. I'm gonna get the light novels at one point, but I don't know when because I have all the manga so far that's out for Danmachi, but I don't know. At one point I will. Next up, I have volumes 1 through 11 of Danmachi Sword Oratoria, which is the eyes. And the art is definitely different than the normal Danmachi. I think they have a different artist for this, but it's really good art still. If you can see that, that's some really good art. So yeah, I really do enjoy Danmachi a lot. I love the world, and that's probably what keeps me in it. But yeah. Next up is one of my favorite movies of all time. I have I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. This movie is definitely sad, and that's what compelled me to get the manga. Sorry, Hell's Paradise. But it's a pretty good manga. I mean, it's definitely a different look from the movie, but I would say it's pretty good. I would suggest it. I really like this movie, so you have to finish it. I'm halfway through this, but it's very good, and I would very much suggest it, because I just love the movie so much, and if you like the movie, you're gonna like the manga. Next up, we have Juana and the Dragon 7 Kingdoms. I said this in the monthly manga haul. I think the art style is good. Definitely weird, but good. And the story is pretty meh. But I would suggest it if you like these kinds of stories. It's a pretty cute, wholesome story. It only has 3 volumes. So, I also said in the monthly manga haul, I don't get how they're going to finish the story in 3 volumes, since it's a pretty deep story. There's a lot of things that could happen. So, that got me sad there's only 3 volumes, but yeah, it's pretty okay. Next up, we have Jujutsu Kaisen volumes 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. Jujutsu Kaisen, I think I also said this, but is one of my favorite new age shonens that have recently been airing. And the art is fantastic. I love the main character of Yuji Itadori, and the side characters are just so greatly written. I love Megumi, or Fushiguro, however you want to say him. And Gojo Sensei, I love him. Highly, highly suggest Jujutsu Kaisen for anyone who's getting into manga. Next up, I have Konosuba volumes 1 to 3. I'm yet to get the other 7, and I don't know why. I liked the first 3 volumes, so I might just get them off Right Stuff. I got these off Amazon. The art is pretty similar to the anime. I wouldn't think they would make it too far off. But yeah, I just love Konosuba, so highly suggest it if you like Konosuba. Next up, a very underrated manga, in my opinion. I have volumes 1 to 37 of Magi. I have the complete Magi collection. And I think this manga is really underrated. This manga has amazing art, amazing characters, an amazing world, and the politics of this story, because it's all about politics at a certain point, it's really good. The philosophy behind the story is really good. So I very highly suggest getting Magi if you can. Next up, we have My Hero Vigilantes 1 through 7. I think I also said this, I like this more than My Hero. I don't have the original My Hero volumes right now. I'm gonna get them at one point, but I've read it online. And the actual reason why I collect manga volumes is because I get very bad headaches reading manga online, so it's really hard for me. But the art is around the same as My Hero, and I just like the characters more than My Hero. Like, I like the protagonist of Koichi 10 times more than Deku. So if you get the chance, I suggest reading this one as well. Oh god, I'm just not gonna risk reading these volumes. Then we have volumes 1 to 3 of Nisekoi. I've read the first 2, the third one I haven't read yet. I really like the characters of Nisekoi. I like the spin it takes off the romance genre and the niches. I would suggest it. I'm yet to read more, even though I've wanted to read more. The art is pretty good, and I like how they are dealing with the characters. Like, the art and the characters are what really make this story for me. So, Nisekoi False Love, I definitely suggest that one as well. Next one on this list, we have volumes 1 to 5 of No Guns Life. It kind of bothers me how I have Nisekoi than No Guns Life, which is a very much bigger volume, but No Guns Life has a very unique art style, I would say. The characters are really well made. The world is very unique as well. It's a very good sci-fi world. And yeah, I really like this story. I would say you should get it, but it's very much, you need to like the kind of genre it's in to want to read it, so I can see why people don't. Next up, I also talked about this one. I have the Loot Crate exclusive volume 1 of One Punch Man. I think it goes without saying, it's One Punch Man. It's really good. So, One Punch Man is one of my favorite animes and mangas, so I would say just get it. Next up, we also have volumes 1 through 5 of Siren. I'm gonna get the last 11 volumes, probably off Right Stuff. I'm just waiting for them to come back in stock. But I've read volume 1 so far. I'm very iffy. I'm gonna read up to 5 and see how I like it. I'm most likely gonna collect the rest because I like it so far, but I think it can grow on me way more. I love the spines though. That's probably why I want to get the rest right now. Next up, we have Reincarnated as a Sword. It's kind of like that time I got Reincarnated as a Slime, but sword version. And yeah, I've only read volume 1 of this so far, the second volume as well. I'm liking it so far. I would suggest if you want like that story, you should get this, but it's up to you. I also like how it's criminally yellow on the top and then fine. Look at that difference. It gets on my nerves, but what can you do? Next up, we have volumes 1 through 8. I'm missing 9 and 10, then 11 through 14, then 15 to 18, and then I'm missing 19 and 20, 21 through 26. So I'm missing 27 and 28 as well. They're coming from Right Stuff right now. I'm yet to get them, but I just ordered them off Right Stuff of Rurouni Kenshin. And I'm liking Kenshin so far. I'm only on volume 5, so since I don't want to read up to here, then have to wait like 2 weeks. But I really like Kenshin so far, so I would say you should get it. If you have bigger hands than me, I would very much suggest getting the omnibuses instead, but I can't read omnibuses, so this was very hard for me to even try to read, but yeah. Sorry Goku, I'm gonna have to move you for a little bit, and Goku Black, favorite character in Dragon Ball, by the way. Then I have all of Seraph at the End. I think I'm only missing 16 right now, because it's right over there where I'm reading, so it's right over there. But I do have it. So far I'm liking Seraph at the End. I don't think it's amazing. I think the art is good and the characters are good. Gurn is definitely favorite character so far. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good story right now. If you're getting into manga, I think you would like this. It's kind of like, it's like Attack on Titan with its themes, but it's not exactly like Attack on Titan, because Titans and vampires are not the same. But yeah, I very much suggest this. Next up is a series I hope they put back into print, because it's coming back as an anime in 2021, which is very exciting, but Shaman King. I have volumes 1 through 6. I got this for a deal of like $40 the first 6 volumes, which I thought was a really good deal and a steal. Back over there. I've read this. I really like Shaman King so far from what I've read. Too bad it's really expensive to find the rest of it, because I would so buy the rest of it right here, right now, if I could, but I can't right now because it's very expensive. It's like it takes $100 to get like one volume at some points. So I hope they put it back into print, or even make omnibuses. I would get the omnibuses, I wouldn't care, but I hope they do. Next up is something I proclaimed as my favorite volume 1 in all of manga, and I'm gonna be with that statement all the way. And that's Spy Family. I'm gonna put it back over here. Sorry, Pop. Spy Family is a story about a spy who has to go on a mission, and he needs to get a family for it. And he adopts a daughter, and surprisingly enough, she's actually a telepath, and the fake wife he gets is an assassin, and they don't know any of this other than the daughter, who can read their minds and can tell that one's an assassin and one's a spy. And it's a very good story. The art's really good, and the comedy is very well placed. So, off the first volume, I would say it's a definite must-read. Next up is Skeleton Knight in Another World. I haven't read this yet. It's looking like it's going to be funny, but it's an isekai. I just got it because of the cover, and I really like this little doggo. It's an impulse buy. I know I don't judge a book by its cover, but I do it quite a bit. But the art's looking pretty good from what I've seen. Not going to spoil too much for myself right now. But yeah. Next up is a Brave Tuber Volume 1 and 2. That is the whole series. Brave Tuber, if you have the money, just get the whole series. It's very good. I like it. The comedy is well placed. It has one gag, but that one gag is really funny. And yeah, I really like the characters, and it's a very good read, so highly suggest it. Next up, this literally I think just came out yesterday or today. I went to Barnes & Noble's today, so I got like a bunch of volumes that came out yesterday or today. And if you don't know about my favorite anime, this is definitely one of them, and it's The Legend of Dororo and Hyakkimaru. I love Dororo, and it's one of my favorite animes right now. And I was super excited when I saw this come out. I think this is just like a remake of Osamu Tezuka's original story, and I like this art more than his, but that's to be said because his art was like 60s art, and this is more recent art. So I'm really excited to read this, and I just cannot wait to read this. Actually, I'm so excited. I'm going to read it literally once I finish recording this video. Next up, I have volumes 1 through 5 and 6 through 15 of A Promised Neverland. I'm sorry I'm moving the other Goku, but if you don't know A Promised Neverland, it's ending soon manga-wise for serialization in English, because we're at chapter 135 and it ends at chapter 181. So I'm going to say we got like 4 or 5 more volumes probably left. The art is very unique. The character designs are also very unique, but I like them a lot. And yeah, I would suggest getting this if you have the money, because it's one of the most intricate stories that you can read, and it's very, very good. So yeah. Next up is a nice slice of life cooking spin-off of Fate. Today's menu for the Emiya family. It's Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works spin-off. I talked about this in my monthly manga collection as well. I like it so far. I've read the first 3 volumes. There's only going to be 5, I believe, and they take months to come out. So this next one's coming out in like November, and this one just came out like this month. So yeah, it's going to take a while for me to finish it, but I am very excited to finish this series. Okay, I'm not going to risk that as well. I'm going to put it over here again. Ow, that hurt my ears. Okay. Next, we have 1 through 18 of Twin Star Exorcist. I really like Twin Star. The art's really good. The covers are amazing. And yeah, like, oh, I came onto the perfect page. Let me just get this up. Look at this art of Rokuro punching a Kikari. Like, oh, it's so good. I love this art. The style is so amazing, and it's just such good character design. And I very much suggest Twin Star if you're getting into manga. Also, I'm just going to say volume 17's cover kind of lit, just saying. But next up, sorry Broly, we have volumes 1 through 5 of Witch Hat Atelier. The art style is so unique, like insanely unique, and I would just say that, like, it's very hard to hold the camera and show the art, but if you can see that, yeah. Character design and the story and the art is very unique. I've only read the first 3 volumes, but I'm loving it. So yeah, I would very much suggest getting Witch Hat Atelier. I have all 1 through 5. I don't know if that's complete right now. I didn't check before the video. There could be a volume 6 or above, but I believe this is all that's out right now in English. Next up, the second to last series I'm going to show. So I forgot to show one, which is kind of dumb of me, but I'll tell you why right after this. But we have Yu Yu Hakusho volumes 1 through 8 and 9 through 19. Yu Yu Hakusho is my first manga I actually ever collected. I'm so happy this was my first because it's such a good story that it made me so happy when I read it, and it's definitely the thing that got me more into manga collecting. Togashi's artwork is very, very good for the 90s, and like the style for the 90s is really good. I really enjoy the art style that Togashi uses. Of course, he doesn't use it again for Hunter x Hunter, which gets me mad, but I would get Yu Yu Hakusho if you could. I got it for my birthday a couple years back. I've only been collecting for around like a year now. Got this 2 years ago, but I didn't get another volume for a whole year. I don't know why I didn't. The next year I got was Twin Star. So yeah, that's Yu Yu Hakusho. And also, this is my extra volume of Gal Gohan that I bought today. Annoying, right? Just annoying. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Put these over here. Okay, now that that's all clean, we're going to talk about One Piece. I have all the volumes still in their box sets. Let me just open these up real fast. I'm not going to buy One Piece from 70 to 94. It's coming out in August, but I'm going to wait for the next box set because I think there's only going to be 1 or 2 box sets left. Actually, definitely going to be 2 box sets left of One Piece because I think after Wano, there's only going to be 1 or 2 more major arcs in One Piece, and that's Elbaf. Maybe if they do a mini arc on a different island, and the final island that they're going to go to. So like 2 major arcs left in One Piece. And they can fit like 2 major arcs in one box set. Like they did Skypiea and Water 7 and Star Thriller Bark. They did Skypiea, Water 7, and Thriller Bark all in the second box set. They did the East Blue, which is 11 volumes, and all of Alabasta in the first. And they did a lot of Thriller Bark, the rest of Thriller Bark from the second box set to the box set number 3. They did Sabity. Then they did Impel Down, the Paramount War, and then they did like Fishman Island and all that a little bit after the time skip. I'm sorry if my camera was really bad. I'm not used to this. I'll get better as time goes on, but yeah. These are my 3 One Piece box sets, and I'm really proud of my collection. And yeah. And that was my manga collection, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you stick around for my future videos. I have a pretty good sized manga collection. I'll put the amount of volumes I have in the title. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, click like and subscribe, and see you next time. Peace!